The Austin Grand Prix is said to be crucial for the fight for this year's championship title, but the FIA have made an announcement which could derail one team's entire season. A cunning trick which has helped one team break parc ferme rules has been discovered, and the FIA is taking immediate action to stop them. This could have a huge impact on the championship battle, but there are some important questions that still need answering. Today, I'll fill you in on what's going on, as well as what upgrades to look out for in Austin, so don't go anywhere. The second big break of the season has been painful for F1 fans, but we're now just a day away from seeing cars back on track. Formula One is heading to the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, and this Grand Prix weekend is said to be the most important of the season so far. This weekend is seen as the last major opportunity to unleash a big batch of car upgrades this season, with the Mexican and Brazilian Grand Prix following on the next 2 weekends, then the Las Vegas Grand Prix 3 weekends later. The teams have been hard at work getting upgrades ready to bring with them to the Americas. What makes this weekend in Austin extra exciting is that every team seems to have some big upgrades ready, but it is a sprint race weekend, meaning there's only 1 hour of practice to dial in those upgrades before they're racing for points. What makes this race even more exciting is the fact that it is the first time in almost 2 months that we're going to see the cars on an actual racetrack. While Lando Norris did win on the streets of Singapore by 21 seconds, that performance gap means nothing at an actual circuit. In Austin, we'll get a real comparison between Red Bull and McLaren, and importantly, we'll see if Lando Norris has any chance of overturning his deficit to Max Verstappen over the remaining 6 race weekends. However, a recent FIA investigation could have a huge impact on that title battle. Motorsport.com has revealed that a cunning ride height adjustment trick, which could have been happening under parc ferme conditions, has triggered an immediate FIA response. Apparently, discussions between the FIA and several teams over the recent break have centered on concerns that one unidentified outfit may have found a clever way to adjust front bib clearance between qualifying and the race. The front bib, or T-tray, is located at the front of the floor where the plank starts. It is the first part of the floor to hit the air, and its height relative to the track surface has a huge impact on the amount of air that travels under the floor. Being able to adjust the height of that front bib between qualifying and the race is advantageous because it allows a team to adjust their ride height between the low-fuel single lap runs of qualifying and the much longer and fuel-laden stints of a Grand Prix. In theory, a team has been lowering their ground clearance for qualifying while the car is at its lightest, allowing them to get the maximum single lap performance. Then in parc ferme before the Grand Prix, they've raised the ride height to stop the fuel-laden car from constantly bottoming out and wearing the plank to illegal levels. While the cars are under parc ferme conditions, the only aerodynamic changes that are allowed to be made are to the front wing. Any breach of parc ferme conditions normally means starting from the pit lane. Teams do sometimes breach parc ferme on purpose if they realize after qualifying that they've made a big setup mistake, but it is rare. A recent example would be at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix this year, where Alonso started from the pit lane due to Aston Martin changing his suspension setup. There are rules to stop teams from coming up with devices which would allow them to easily alter parts during parc ferme. The rules regarding parc ferme have a clause which says, "It must be clear from physical inspection that changes cannot be made without the use of tools." However, that is exactly what one team has done. They have a device fitted in their cockpit which allows for a quick and easy adjustment of the height of the front bib. According to Motorsport.com sources, this alteration could be easily done by a mechanic during the regular car assessment work that is undertaken before qualifying in the race and would be undetected to outside observers. The teams were apparently alerted to the possibility of this happening through the design details of all cars needing to be uploaded to FIA servers on open-source components, which all competitors have access to. While the FIA have listened to the team's concerns and is acting upon them, it says it has received no conclusive evidence that such a trick has been used by anyone in F1, and therefore will not be taking any action to retrospectively punish the unnamed team. The FIA are concerned enough though by the findings that they will be changing the procedure that they use to check the front bib to ensure the device is not being used to break parc ferme. An FIA spokesman said, "Any adjustment to the front bib clearance during parc ferme conditions is strictly prohibited by the regulations. While we've not received any indication of any team employing such a system, the FIA remains vigilant in our ongoing efforts to enhance the policing of the sport. As part of this, we've implemented procedural adjustments to ensure that front bib clearance cannot be easily modified. In some cases, this may involve the application of a seal to provide further assurance of compliance. The implication is that one team is going to have a sticker fitted over the device in the cockpit to ensure they don't use it. If we're lucky, one brave photographer may be able to get a camera into the cockpit of a few cars to see who has the best device, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. The best chance we have of identifying the culprit is finding a team whose qualifying performance suddenly drops off, while their race performance remains the same. But with so many upgrades being fitted by the teams in Texas, even that may be a challenge. But before I talk about those, if you want to catch more daily F1 news and the occasional opinion piece, then please give this video a like and subscribe to F1 Reverse. Thanks a lot. So obviously all the attention will be on the top teams to try and spot any performance changes, which could highlight the team that may have been using this device. It could also have been Sauber for all we know though. But let's focus on those top teams for a minute, as they all have a big upgrade package for the US Grand Prix. Starting with the Silver Arrows, who endured a disappointing race last time out in Singapore, with a decision to start Lewis Hamilton on soft tyres failing to pay off en route to the 7-time world champion, finishing in 6th, while George Russell came home in 4th in what he later called an evening of damage limitation. Technical Director James Allison admitted in Mercedes' post-race debrief that the squad planned to examine why they face these issues in the break between Singapore and Austin, as well as preparing the upgrades that they hope will perform well at the Circuit of the Americas. We've got a fairly substantial set of new clothes for the car coming for Austin that we hope will give us a decent weekend there. So we've got to deliver all that and get ourselves ready for these last few races of the year. Mercedes are the only top team who really have nothing left to compete for this season, while McLaren have everything to fight for. They hold a slim lead in the Constructors' Championship, and holding on to that would secure them their first trophy in the Team Championship since 1998. They're also trying to get Lando Norris a Drivers' Championship title. Their success this season has come from a big upgrade package back at the Miami Grand Prix, which included a new floor. The floor gave the team a really stable platform with a wide setup window, and instead of risking upsetting that with floor changes, they focused their development on other parts of the car since Miami. But a new floor could, according to rumors, arrive at the United States Grand Prix, completely changing the team's development strategy for the season. Under the ground effect regulations, a number of teams have made mistakes with their floor upgrades, resulting in a loss of performance, and McLaren will be hoping that doesn't happen to them. With just 1 hour of practice before Norris has to beat Verstappen to maintain any hope of a title challenge, the team are going to have to be perfect in Texas. Of course, it isn't completely in their own hands, as Red Bull will also have a huge upgrade package for this weekend's race. The championship leader has struggled in recent races with an unstable car, which Sergio Perez warned the team about at the 2023 Spanish Grand Prix. However, he was ignored as Max just kept on winning. Team boss Christian Horner called the update for this weekend something important, saying Red Bull have worked hard to understand the problems and solve them, and if everything goes well, to remedy the situation already from Austin. As with McLaren though, Red Bull's changes are likely to be floor-related, having run a patchwork floor over the last few races as they investigated the balance issues. Any mistake by them at this point could give Norris a title win. What do you think of the news that a team may have been breaking Parc Ferme rules this season? And who do you think it might have been? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you want to support the channel, the best thing you can do is head over to f1reverse.com and check out our new merch store. Until next time, drive safe and bye for now.